Hello students. So today we are going to take up the third chapter from your textbook Flamingo. The title of the chapter is Deep Water. Now this chapter has been written by William Douglas. William Douglas was born in the year 1898 and he died in the year 1980. He was born in Maine, Minnesota. After graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. He met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Douglas was a leading advocate of individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 36 years and remains the longest serving justice in the history of the court. The excerpt Deep Water by William Douglas is an autobiographical account of a childhood misadventure which left a lasting impression on the narrator's mind. Now, all details, particularly the feeling of fear, remained engraved on his mind for years together. And later in his adulthood, he made a deliberate effort to shake off the terrifying memory and get over the phobia of water. So, it is a first-person account of the event that gives the readers a feeling that the episode is being reconstructed in front of their own eyes. So let us begin reading the chapter. It had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. The Yakima River was treacherous. So the writer narrates his experience here, and he says that he was 10 or 11 years old when he had decided to learn swimming, and for that he joined the YMCA swimming pool. Okay. Now, he did not go to the Yakima River to swim as it was considered to be very dangerous, very treacherous. Okay, one could not trust how dangerous it could be. So, this shows that he had a prior fear of water since his childhood only. Further, mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river. But the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the other. The drop was gradual. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. Okay, so William Douglas's mother would warn him not to go near the Yakima River, and she would discuss the various incidences of drowning. Now he felt that the pool at YMCA was much safer. Why? Because the shallow area of the pool was only 2 to 3 feet deep for him. Okay, so it was not much deep for him, while the deep area was 9 feet in depth. So the slope from the shallow area to the deep area was not that deep, was not very steep for him. So he also says that he got a pair of water wings to prevent drowning in the water. And he did not like to wear the swimming costume which exposed his thin legs, but as he was keen to swim, He was very eager to swim. He wanted to learn to swim. Therefore, he gave up his self-respect and wore it. This is what he says. But I subdued my pride and I did it. So, he gave up his self-respect and wore it in order to learn swimming. Further, from the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old and father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood together in the surf. I hung on to him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed, but there was terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. Okay, so this one is an important paragraph. So here we come to know that since the beginning only, the narrator William, he had this disliking towards water. Aversion, he says, I had an aversion to the water. So this means that he had this disliking towards water, and he recounts an older experience when he was 3 or 4 years old. And he says that he went to the California beach with his father, and he was standing together with his father in the surf. He was hung on to him. Still, what happened? A wave came towards them, a wave approached them and knocked him down. So, he was all covered up in water, and this experience, because of this experience, he was scared as he could not breathe at that moment when he was all covered up in water. Now, after this incident, the father laughed and he tried to make him feel comfortable, but this little child was scared. When he realized that the waves were so powerful, he became very fearful of the water, and this is the fear which he carries forward till his adulthood. Okay, further let us read. My introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred childish fears. But in a little while I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened. So, when William joined the swimming pool at the YMCA, the fear of water that he had in his childhood, that fear resurfaced in his mind. So that fear revived in his mind for a moment, but still he gathered his confidence and decided that yes, he would be taking swimming classes. Also, he got some motivation after watching the other boys taking their swimming classes, and he also tried to ape them. He also tried to copy them. Okay, he says that I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. So he also wore his water wings, and then he tried to swim and also observed the boys who were taking their swimming classes. Now he says that he had done this exercise of swimming twice or thrice and at different occasions, and he had just started gaining confidence in his swimming when suddenly this misadventure happened, which again had a very worse effect on the narrator. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet, the water was still, and the tiled bottom was as white and clean as a bathtub. I was timid about going in alone, so I sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. So when William reached the pool, there was no one over there, and therefore he sat on the edge waiting for other boys to arrive at the pool. Now he says that he was afraid of swimming all alone in the pool, and he also says that the pool was empty, and then he tells us about the color the white color of the tiles, and that it looked very clean, like a bathtub. Now he says that he also could see the bottom of this pool. Further, I had not been there long when in came a buoyer of a boy, probably 18 years old. He had thick hair on his chest. He was beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. He yelled, "Hi skinny, how would you like to be ducked?" So what happened next? While he was waiting for the other boys to arrive at the pool, it had been long since this William had been sitting by the pool waiting for the boys, and suddenly this very strong built, a tough aggressive buoyer came. Buoyer means a very tough aggressive person. So this boy came. He was around 18 years of age. He had a very well built body with rippling muscles. So he seemed to be a bully from his appearance only. Now he asked William if he wanted to be thrown into the pool. Ducked into the pool means if he wanted to be thrown into the pool. Now what happened next? With that, he picked me up and tossed me into the deep end. I landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. On the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. Now, what has happened? This boy came, who was around 18 years of age. The boy picked William up and he threw him into the deep end of the swimming pool. Now, this paragraph is also an important one. Now, when William landed on the surface of the pool in the same position as he had been sitting in, so his mouth was open and he did not know swimming, so he swallowed water as he sank into the pool. Okay. Now, he was very frightened, but still he used his intelligence, and on his way down to the pool, what he planned to push himself up when he reached the bottom. Okay. So he thought that he would make a big jump to the surface, lie on his back and swim to the edge of the pool. Okay, this was his planning while he was drowning into the pool. Next, it seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90, and before I touched bottom, my lungs were ready to burst. But when my feet hit bottom, I summoned all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upwards. I imagined I would bob to the surface like a cock. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing but water. Water that had a dirty yellow tinge to it. I grew panicky. I reached up as if to grab a rope, and my hands clutched only at water. It was suffocating. I tried to yell, but no sound came out. Then my eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. Now William took a long time to reach the bottom of the pool, and it seemed to him that the depth of the pool was 90 feet instead of 9 feet. And also he could not hold his breath, and he felt as if his lungs would burst. Now when his feet touched the bottom of the pool, he gathered all his strength and jumped upwards. The next thought which came in his mind was that he would gather all his strength and jump upwards, and then he would be able to float like a cock up in the pool. But nothing like this happened, and everything opposite happened. Whatever he was thinking, everything opposite of that happened. So his upward movement was very slow, and when he opened his eyes, he saw water all around him, which was, he says, it had a dirty yellow tinge to it, so it was all yellowish in color. Now William got very much scared as he was trying to grab a rope. Okay, he was searching for a rope in there in the pool, but He was surrounded by water all around him, so nothing came in his mind. It was just nothing came in his hand. It was just water which he could grab. Okay, but then what happened next? William again, he lost his breath and he tried to scream for help, but no sound came from his mouth. Okay, and also his nose and eyes came out of water, but his mouth still remained in the water. So here we come to know that though he had no idea about the techniques of swimming, but still he was trying hard for his survival. Still he was trying hard that he could call someone for his help. So next, I flailed at the surface of the water, swallowed and choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hung as dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. A great force was pulling me under. I screamed, but only the water heard me. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. So William flailed at the surface of the water. This means that William waved his hand at the surface of the water. He waved in order to ask for some help. But what he did, he swallowed some water and choked himself. Now he tried to pull his legs up, but they were very heavy and they were lifeless. So he says they were, but they hung and dead weights, so they seemed as if they were lifeless. Now he felt that something was pulling him towards the depth of the pool, and in order to save himself he screamed, but his voice did not go out of the water, and once again William started going down towards the bottom of the pool. Further, I struck at the water as I went down, expending my strength as one in a nightmare fights an irresistible force. I had lost all my breath, my lungs ached, my heart throbbed. I was getting dizzy, but I remembered the strategy. I would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like a cork to the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out my arms and thrash with my legs. Then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. So William was already trying to save himself, and here too William tried to save himself from drowning in the pool and tried to grab something, but as there was water all around him, so he could not do so. He could not hold anything in order to save himself. Now he compares his situation to a person who sees a nightmare and he fights against the dreadful dream but is not able to win over it. So he was also watching this dreadful dream. That was the dream, the incident of drowning into the pool. Okay, but he was not able to save himself from it. Now because he was drowning, so he was becoming breathless. Also he says that he could feel the pain in his lungs and also the sensation of throbbing in his head. Why? Because his lungs were all full of water. Okay, and also there are possibilities that he was short of oxygen, therefore his head was also throbbing. Okay, further he says that he was getting unconscious, but still in that unconsciousness he was able to recollect the plan to save himself. And what was it? That as his feet would touch the bottom of the pool, he would take a leap and jump up to the surface and float like a cork. Now then he recalled that he would lie on his back, hit the strokes with his limbs and reach to the edge of the pool to safety. Okay, further, I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes. Nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see through. And then sheer, stark terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding. Terror that knows no control. terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. I was shrieking underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid with fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was alive. So here William sank into the pool, and he says that the journey downwards to the pool seemed endless to him. It was never ending journey. Okay, then he opened his eyes and there was nothing around him. He could just see water all around him. Then he further says that this water, it had a yellowish glow and he could not see through this water. Now this experience terrorized William to a very great extent, and he says that this feeling cannot be explained by anyone, but it can only be understood by those who have actually experienced a similar situation. Okay, now he also tried to scream in water for help, but he could not do so as well, and he was also unable to move his body. His body had also frozen up, and he says that his screams also froze. He could not even shout for help. He could not scream for help. Now he says that only his heartbeat and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. So only two things that made him feel that he was still alive was his heartbeat and the beating in his head. Okay, further, and then in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. At last I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. So in between this phase of terror, William again recollected the plan that he had to take a jump as he touched the bottom of the pool, and as he felt the tiles of the bottom of the pool, his feet used all his strength, all the strength that he had, and he jumped up. He tried to jump up as per his strategy that he had in his mind. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings. Nothing but water. A mass of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move. My legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. Okay, then all the efforts that he was putting in order to come up from the pool, since he was drowning down and he had already reached the bottom of the pool, so all the efforts to come up of the pool went in vain. Okay, and he was still submerged in the water. Now he looked around for help, for any rope, ladder or water wing with the help of which he could rescue himself, but he could see only water all around him. Now it was as if a chunk of yellow water had grabbed him. He felt this. Okay, and this terror inside him, the terror of drowning, the terror of dying, it grew intense in him. Okay, it was more intense, this fear, and it was like, he says that fear was like an electric shock that ran through the whole body, and he could not do anything to save himself. Now he trembled with fright. He could neither move his limbs and nor he could call out for help. So he was totally helpless. Neither his body responded, and neither could he, with the help of his own strength, he could not do anything to save himself. So we'll cover up only till here in this session. The remaining part we'll take up in the next session. Till then, reread the portion that we have covered today. mark the difficult words and jot down the doubts that you have. Thank you everyone.